Alright, does your Pontiac Bonneville radio have this issue where you can't see the display? Well, stay tuned and I will show you how to fix it for less than 10 bucks. Stick around. Now that you have your dash bezel removed, as I have, you just pop these clips here, pop these here, use two hands. I'm holding the phone with the other one, and she comes right out. This has what's called a dock and lock connector, and really that's all there is to it. Alright, so now we got the radio out of the car. You're going to need to buy some light bulbs. I will link in the description. You're going to need to get them specifically for this radio. You don't want to cheap out. You get the wrong ones and they're going to burn out right away. So they pack these really well. Oh, look, they gave me a business card. Audio Express, carradiobulbs.com. These were $8. They're not LEDs. I don't think anybody makes any LEDs for these radios. But these are incandescents, and the polarity doesn't matter. So with that out of the way, alright, so let's turn this radio upside down. Now to get it apart, you're going to need your flat blade. And there's a little spot right here to pry, and one here. Pry it, and two on the side. One there, and one there. And this should lift right up. Okay. Alright, and now inside here, you should be able to see where the faceplate connects to. Oh, we gotta, I think right here, you're gonna have to unplug these two connectors there, I think. Alright. Now what you need to do is take your screwdriver and pry this ever so gently. These two here. See how that side rocks back? Put a little tension on it. See, it snaps back. You got a couple on the side here. They're all around the perimeter of this, essentially. Oh man, some on the top. So you can work your way around. Couple here on this side. And one here. These clips are kind of in the way, but you can kind of get to it. Alright, now we're off. Okay, the display is over on this side. Okay, looks like we might have to take this tape deck out of the way. Yeah, this one's got the tape deck in it. And as you can see, this one is stubborn. Okay. Yep, they go through here. So guess what? It looks like we're gonna move the tape deck out of the way. I think these screws are 5mm. I got a 5mm and a 3/16. We're just gonna, yeah, the 5 is working. Take the 5s out. If you don't have a cassette deck on your radio, then you don't have to worry about this. You can skip this step because this will not be there. This is an easy way to add an aux input. So now that lifts up, and we'll just swing that out of the way. There, that's what we need right there. Okay, these two connectors here need to come out. And just make note, the one with the blue, actually these both have blue. Well, the one on the bottom goes to the left and the one on the top goes to the right. So we'll try to, I think there's a, oh no, they just come right out. Just use your thumbnail, fingernail, they just pull right out. There we go, see how that one just popped out? I'm gonna have to set the camera down and use two hands for this one. Possibly my screwdriver, carefully. There. Okay, we're loose. Now this should come right out. Yep, yep. Okay. Just remember where those fed through. Okay, now we're loose. Now that your control panel is off, take some masking tape. Oh wait, before that, sorry. We're going to need to pry these buttons off, or these knobs. I forgot about that. These knobs come off first. Okay, now take your tape, place them across these buttons, and tape them down real good. Make sure you have some good tape. I might have to try some different tape. This stuff's junk. Yeah, this tape sucks. I just wouldn't recommend duct tape because you're going to be peeling adhesive off. Do what you have to do to preserve these buttons because they're going to come flying off of here as soon as you undo the back panel. This tape sucks. Gotta find some real blue painter's tape. That's the good stuff. Okay. Now that we flipped it over, there are 4 screws, or screws. They have a really tiny head on them. I don't have anything that small, so I'm just gonna take my little needle nose pliers to turn them loose. Maybe we'll do 2-3 turns with this, and then you can fish them out by hand. I thought maybe you could. Okay, this is painstaking because you have to do it with needle nose pliers. Dang, these are a pain. So, okay, there's one. One here, one up here, and one here. Oh, and by the way, these connectors, one has 8 wires, one has 10. They only go in one way in that radio. So we'll get these screws out. Okay, now I got those bolts out. Screws, I keep calling them bolts. So we're gonna carefully lift this out. Okay, there's one more right here above the cassette mechanism. So make sure you get this 5th and final one out. Okay, now that that's out, this just pops right off. Okay, now carefully set this aside. And here is your display. And back behind here is where those 3 lamps are. So, as you can see right here, let's see if we can zoom in. That looks like a little tab that's bent over. You're just going to take your little pliers and straighten it out straight. And there's one over here. Straighten that out. Flatten it out. One right here. Flatten it out. And there's one right here. Flatten that out. I think, oh wait, oh yeah, 2 more down here. 2 on the very end, right there. And there. Alright, I think that's it. Now we turn it over. And this should pry right off without any desoldering. You're just going to want to make sure that those tabs are bent back correctly. Yep. See, she's coming out now. Try not to ruin the board. Let these come out. And there you go. Your LCD display. The contacts are right here, and they make contact right here on the board. And there's your 3 lamps. Boom, boom, boom. You can see the new ones are identical. You see these are burnt out. So we're going to find the corresponding. Right there are the 2 leads. Right there. And right there, we're going to unsolder those and take those old lamps out. I think before we do that, we're just going to make note of how far these drop down. They drop down to about there, because we're going to have to bend the leads. I don't know if you can really see. These leads are long and then they turn. So let's get these unsoldered first. Alright, so I have my solder wick. I need to trim the end of it off. I got some crap on it. Soldering iron's all heated up. This stuff's so old. I got it at Radio Shack. Where's the... Oh, there it is. What's that? What's Radio Shack, Dad? Well, kids, let me tell you. They used to be ubiquitous. Now there are none left. So I'm just going to do this for all 3. And don't touch the copper while you have the heating iron or the soldering iron on it. It gets kind of hot. I got the solder up from the other side. I'm just going to take my pliers. Heat it from this side. Try to take 1 lead at a time. These should come out. Yep. Yep, there we go. Finesse it out. I'm holding the iron on the solder pad and the lead. Goes 1. Okay. I'm trying to get this in focus. I've exercised one of them. So let's get one of the new ones out. These are really long leads on here. Gonna spread them apart, just make sure they don't touch. They're not crossed over. So take this old one, kind of see how it went. You can kind of see where this is bent over. I'm just going to stick this one, provided there's, I might have to suck up some more solder. Yep. Alright, I'm going to have to wick some more solder out. Oh no, these look clear. They should go right through. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now remembering where I wanted this placed, right about there. Looks about right. Looks in line with the rest of them. I will go ahead, bend these back like that. Ah, gotta get me a little wire cutters. I'll be right back with that. Can't find my little wire cutters, so I'm just gonna use scissors. Just cut them. I don't want these leads too long, but this scissors works just fine. I'll leave a little bit of length there. You can zoom in on that. I'm just gonna fold them over so I can throw some solder on there. You bend them over so the thing stays in place. That is a nice, and these have a nice little square 90 to them. I don't know that I'm going to do that. Just throw some solder on there, I think will be good. I think that's good. Good and sturdy. Yeah, I like that. And these aren't too long. I might just clip them a little bit more. I don't think you really need to. It's not really interfering with anything. So I'm going to do that to the other two. Right there and right there. Looks pretty good, I think. Okay, I didn't record the whole thing, but all three of the new ones are on. Soldered in place. So now we can get back to putting this back on. Make sure that strip goes on the bottom. And this should just snap right back in how it was. And you go back with your needle nose and twist those little tabs over the way they were to get it to stay in place. Alright, now I smudged it up. I'm gonna neaten that up a little bit there. Alright, clear the workbench of all this crap here, but we can get the base plate back in. Now remember, there's 5 of those screws. I gotta find them. They're nowhere near the cassette. There's 5. There's one here. I'm just gonna start these finger tight and then tighten them up with the needle nose pliers. last one's right here, I think. Yep. Okay, I'll tighten those with the needle nose. Alright, now that's on good and tight. And go ahead and take off all this tape. Oh, don't forget you wrapped it around the side there. There, now all the buttons are still in place. And if you can locate where those knobs went, go ahead and put them back on. Maybe clean them up. Just push them in. Okay, now remember which way this faceplate went. So this was the bottom, so we're gonna go like this and get these wires through here. The camera's picking that up. Let's move that to the forefront. These connectors can only go one way. One's an 8-pin, one's a 10. Try to get that cassette mechanism out of the way. Remember, the blue goes on the left. I think this one is the big one here. This one goes... No. That's the big one. Yeah, that one goes over here. Click. This is the small one. Goes right here. Snap, snap. There we go. Now we can turn this and just... This just snaps right back on. It's supposed to. I'm way off on this. Huh. There's not much slack on this one. Let me snap it on. Okay, snap it on and then hook it up. I should just be able to... Nope. It goes like this. Okay. There we go. Faceplate snap back on. Boom. Now, cassette mechanism. Line up the holes. Alright, we got our... Okay, 4 screws. 5mm nut driver. 1. Ooh. Make sure you don't cross thread these things. 2, 3. Let's back the camera up here. That one's... Huh. There we go. Trying to thread them in my hand first. Okay, now snug it down. And finally, find the little slots for these to go in. There's 4 of them. And snap. Make sure the face is all the way snapped on. It is. Alright. Sides look good. Now it's ready to go back in the car. Okay, now that we're back in the car, it's as simple as sliding it right in till it locks. Well, let's check. Let's try the display here. Look at that. Let me take you off the tripod. I'll zoom in here. Look at that. We're back in business. I'm not going to turn it on because of, you know, Don't want to get a copyright strike. There you go. Now if you want to see how to put your dash bezel on, that's in a separate video. So hey, if this helped you out in any way, please give me a thumbs up. Please check out my other videos. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Thanks for visiting, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.